Coming up on this episode of Focus, we show you bodies in motion.
Anti-gravity yoga turns your typical exercise routine upside down.
While another new program in the Lehigh Valley raises the bar on your usual workout routine. We'll explain, plus share tips to fit 30 to 60 minutes of physical activity into your day.
And show you what makes Parkettes gymnasts a perfect 10.
This Focus on Fitness starts right now.
Focus showcases the people, places, and issues that matter to you.
Everybody has a story.
These are the stories that uplift and inspire right here in your neighborhood. Focus on what matters. You never know what you're going to see when you tune into Focus.
Support for Focus is provided by
Univest, banking, insurance, investments, fellowship community, continuing care with spirit, and by viewers like you. Thank you.
Welcome to our Focus Fitness Special, Bodies in Motion. I'm Laura McHugh.
And I'm Brittany Garzillo. Studies show that regular exercise controls weight, improves your mood, boosts energy, and combats health conditions, including heart disease and high blood pressure.
Guidelines recommend kids get 60 minutes of physical activity each day and adults get half an hour. Our first story takes us to Parkettes Gymnastics in Allentown.
Last fall, I spent the day at the Parkettes National Gymnastics Training Center, where groups of talented athletes train for hours each day to become some of the world's most elite gymnasts. Becoming an Olympic gymnast takes both will and power. Balance, bends, and backflips. Each week, more than 1,000 gymnasts push their bodies to the limit at the Parkettes National Gymnastics Training Center in Allentown.
Gymnastics is a sport about perfection, and yeah, I'm a perfectionist.
Perfectionist and power gymnast superstar Elizabeth E.B. Price from Coopersburg called Parkettes her home for the past 15 years.
I've been here since I was 3. I actually got started when my mom thought I had too much energy as a little girl. I know all the coaches, they're like another set of parents. It's like an extended family, and they really taught me a lot as far as like being motivated and determined, and they've pushed me to reach my goals when I thought I wouldn't be able to.
Reaching goals she does. At the age of 18, E.B. holds the title for the 2013-2014 World Cup All-Around Championship. She was a U.S. national team member and an alternate for the 2012 Olympic team.
I've been able to grow up with all these great elite athletes around me and all these great coaches and all these girls with wonderful attitudes and motivation being my role models. If you don't have that example for you, it's hard to know exactly what you want to be and how you want to get there.
Her shoes will not be filled for a long, long time. Up. Strong snap, up. That was better.
Donna Strauss sees it all from the sidelines. Donna co-directs Parkettes along with her husband Bill. She coaches elite athletes on everything from conditioning and skills to diet and lifestyle.
It takes a special individual that is ready to persevere, have a great work ethic, want to have good physical fitness because you've got to be very strong and flexible to do gymnastics.
The Parkette program was established in the early 1960s. Together, Donna and Bill helped develop over 130 national team members, 3 Olympians, and 10 World Championship team members.
It builds confidence, it builds self-esteem, and it helps to develop children to want to go after their dreams.
What's your ultimate goal?
Making it to the 2016 Olympics.
Elite gymnast 14-year-old Christina Desiderio commutes from Hackettstown, New Jersey to train 40 hours a week. Christina spends hours on the beam perfecting every inch of her performance.
Takes a lot of hard work. You can get frustrated, but you can't get upset and say, like, I can't do this. You just need to keep going and try your best all the time.
You're a failure if you're afraid to try something new. So we try to inspire them, set goals, and you reach one goal, you're going to go a step higher and higher.
While E.B. still sports American pride on her fingertips, she recently retired from USA Gymnastics to compete in NCAA gymnastics at Stanford University.
I plan on majoring in biomedical engineering.
But says she'll always be Parkette proud.
No matter what sport you're in, it's always important to go out there and do your best no matter what. Just give your 100%, even if that means messing up 1,000 times. And that the most important thing is to have fun.
For Focus, I'm Brittany Garzillo reporting.
Thanks, Brittany. To learn more about a new exercise opportunity in the Lehigh Valley, we're now joined by another Brittany. Brittany Morse owns Barre 3 in Allentown. Brittany, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
So if somebody's never heard of Barre 3, can you describe it for us?
Absolutely. Barre 3 is an amazing whole body health brand. It focuses on connecting with family and friends, nourishing the body with whole foods, and moving your body every single day.
How often are you offering classes?
7 days a week. We have classes as early as 6 a.m. and as late as 7:15 p.m.
Brittany, how is it different from a traditional barre class?
Something that we really pride ourselves on is the variety within our classes. So all of our classes are 60-minute long. They're set to really fun, upbeat music. And you can come in whether you're an elite athlete, a newer expecting mom, or if you're a couch potato just trying it out for the first time. So we have tons of modifications for our clients, tons of variety, and an amazing instructor who's right there for you.
I've heard it described as ballet meets yoga and Pilates. Do you think that's a good description?
Absolutely. We take the grace from ballet, the wisdom from yoga, and the strength from Pilates, blend it together in a beautiful 60-minute class.
Now, who's a good candidate for this class?
Honestly, anyone. No experience required. You could be 20 years old and never worked out in your life, all the way up to 70 years old. Come on in. We're here for you.
Will you show us some of what you'd see in a typical class?
I would love to.
Great. So should we grab chairs?
Yes.
Start with that?
Okay.
So we'll each grab a chair. And do we want to set them at the end of our mat?
Sure, you can turn them around.
Okay.
And this is great for anyone who may be nervous to come into a class. They can try any of these postures at home, right with their own chair. So we're going to start with something called standing seat work. Let's grab our Barre 3 core ball.
And this ball is really squishy.
And light.
Very malleable. We're going to come about a 4 arms distance away from your chair. Feet are hip width distance apart. Use that core ball, place it right behind your right kneecap. Firm your heel to seat. Place your hands right back onto your chair and hold right here. So we're going to really focus on rooting that left foot down into the floor, keeping your hips square and center strong, lengthening within your spine. Right out the gate, you can stay right here. You're targeting that back line of your body into your glute, into your hamstring.
I can feel it. I feel it right there.
It's a burner, instant feedback. Option 2, you can start a little pulse, firming that heel right towards your seat. Option 3, if you want to layer on just a little bit more, you can join me and bring your hands right into heart center.
Ooh. I'm going to stay where I am. I'm feeling it.
This means balance for sure.
Yeah, just one example of how we offer tons of options for our clients. And if for some reason, if the core bar was not working for you, you can just ditch it. You can do the entire posture without the core ball. Just pulsing that heel right towards your seat, turning on the back line of the body, activating the glute, activating the hamstring.
I like that.
This is a very small movement, right?
Teeny tiny. We love to call it our Barre 3-inch. And it's one step in a 3-step formula that happens throughout our class.
How about another one? I can really feel that in my calves and my legs.
Let's step into something we call carousel horse. So we're going to step forward with our left foot. Right foot steps back, soften both knees, and hold right here.
So we're going into more of a lunge position here?
Absolutely. So we're going to check in with our foundation. The left foot is rooted into the mat, and we're going to glide our knee over the ankle, protecting the joint. Squaring off our hips like little headlights right out in front of us.
I feel it all through my hips because we talked, I have mommy hip.
Absolutely.
I'm carrying my son on my hip, and I'm feeling this throughout my hip region.
I'm getting those earthquake shakes.
Yeah, we love those Barre 3 quakes. It is energy being created within your body, which ultimately is going to burn calories and rev your metabolism. So just chilling here in our isometric hold, you're targeting that entire lower body. From here, we're going to take that 1 inch, Barre 3-inch, and lower that back knee down 1 inch, up 1 inch, down 1 inch, up 1 inch. An option, if it is not working for you today, you can stay in the isometric hold. Option 2, you can lift that front left heel, layering on a little bit more of a balance posture, or maybe even bring those hands into heart center. I'm shaking and quaking right there with you.
Me too.
Absolutely. I shake every single class. Every class. So we can stand tall, and I'll take you to one more posture. And we can come down to the floor, grab your core ball. We're gonna have a seat, and we're gonna use this core ball behind our low back, tucking it right behind us like a little bunny tail.
Okay.
And we have lots of options here as well. So let's start with bringing our hands into heart center, lifting the spine tall, activating that center, rooting the sits bones down into the floor. And then can you soften your shoulders down your back? Instantly, your core is engaged, working the entire trunk, lengthening the spine, working on that core strength. You can take a little twist to the right-hand side, turning the oblique on just a little bit more, and then coming back to center, and then over to the left-hand side, coming back to center.
Oh, I really feel that in my core.
So we have lots of options in this posture as well. You can layer on a little bit of upper body if you want to pull the elbow back and then come back to neutral. And if you wanted to layer up further, you just grab your light handheld weights and continue here.
And Brittany, this is something you could do in the comfort of your own home if you needed to, right?
Absolutely. The beautiful thing about Barre 3 is we can always be with you. There's a huge library of online workouts ranging from 10 minutes to 60 minutes. You can do them at the comfort of your own home. You can do them at the park. We even have options. You could do it at the beach.
Ooh, that sounds fun.
These are very light weights.
But they get very heavy very quick.
They do.
So you always have the option to ditch them at any time and find that posture that works best for you and make it your own.
And Brittany, I think we have time for one more.
Fabulous.
If we can keep it quick.
Yes, we can pop the core ball right back onto our tripod, and we're gonna finish in an all fours posture.
Okay.
So swinging the legs behind you,
Oh, I can feel it in my legs already.
We're gonna feel this all out of the way.
bringing your hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. So option 1 to stay right here. It's a variation of plank, lengthening the spine. Option 2, you can extend one leg behind you, feeling that catch where your hamstring and your glute meet. Option 3, you can take this into a balanced posture, lengthening the opposite hand out in front of you and just holding here. Full body work, not even moving, instant shakes and quakes.
Instantly we feel it. And we are out of time. Brittany, thank you so much. Let's stand back up.
Okay.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Well, if you're looking for a new fitness routine, this one may knock you off your feet.
At the Anti-Gravity Yoga Lab at Emmaus, a class called Flying Fitness and Yoga helps participants find their inner peace while often hanging inches off the ground.
Inside the Anti-Gravity Yoga Lab in Emmaus, a flying fitness and yoga class turns heads upside down.
Bring your arms shoulder height, palms to face the picture side of the room. Find a nice stretch here. And exhale, close your wings.
On this day, owner Christine McCreary of Allentown serves as an instructor for the Anti-Gravity Flying Fitness and Yoga class.
It's a combination of fitness and yoga, some yoga stretching, and then the fitness, working the core and working your cardio and getting your heart rate up. Exhale.
Throughout the hour-long class, McCreary guides her clients in a sequence of exercises using a 9 feet wide silk hammock.
The hammock is a great core workout. Everything you're doing in it is using your core, whether it's pulling or tugging or crunches or even in inversions. You still have to have everything engaged.
The hammocks are suspended from the ceiling, allowing many of the poses to take participants inches off the ground.
They'll start out with a zero compression inversion. We always start the class with that to just really hydrate your spine and elongate and decompress, let go. I mean, you actually grow a 1/4 inch in each class. You're gonna be doing a lot of working out of your core your upper body, lower body, but most importantly, you're gonna be working your mind, coming out of your comfort zone, letting go, opening up, and being free.
McCrary says the class offers benefits to both body and mind. One of the reasons she started practicing yoga several years ago.
I was going through some very intense infertility treatments, and I went to a holistic doctor who suggested I take a meditation class and start doing yoga. I had 8 miscarriages, and it wasn't until I actually delved into yoga and meditation. I would always get pregnant, but I would never stay pregnant. And I actually stayed pregnant, and I now have my little girl.
This journey helped inspire McCrary to bring her passion for yoga to the Lehigh Valley.
What I'm really looking to give back is that same feeling for whatever that person is looking for in their life, whatever they're experimenting with, and that's why it's called the Yoga Lab. This class design was developed by Christopher Harrison, who is a world Olympic gymnast.
Katie Isley, a retired nurse from Emmaus, says fear of the anti-gravity hammock was one of her biggest hurdles.
Those first couple classes when you're in the fundamental class and you really use the hammock, you're like, okay, can I do this? But then you just feel so comfortable, you're not afraid.
She says anti-gravity classes have helped ease her joint pain.
I was in a lot of discomfort prior to coming here, and it's eased up a lot of the joint discomfort I was having. And just being upside down and being free, there's just something about that blood rush into your head that is just so interesting, and you really feel great after you leave.
I definitely feel very guided throughout the whole class. Christine is very vocal and keeps you involved, but also keeps you in a good, happy frame of mind.
One of the philosophies of anti-gravity is opening up your mind, being free, and finding your inner child. Slide your heels towards your tailbone a little.
Determined to find my inner child, I decided to try it out myself with a pose called Vampire.
Bend your knees into your chest, relax your head, and I want you to push your feet towards the window side of the room. Just push them into my hands. And then drop your belly, turn your gaze towards the mirror, get that nice shoulder stretch, drop your belly even more. Beautiful. That foot
McCrary says if you can do 3 consecutive sit-ups, you can do an anti-gravity class. But most importantly,
there's nothing to be fearful of. And the most amazing thing is if you have any hesitation of trying it, once you've done it, you're gonna feel amazing because you've tried something new. You've come out of your element, out of your comfort zone, and you just build, in life, it just helps you to build self-confidence.
Building a stronger body and mind through flying fitness and yoga.
To our heart center.
For Focus, I'm Brittany Garzillo reporting.
It's great when you take a class and get your 30 to 60 minutes of exercise in at once, but it doesn't always work out that way.
Here with tips to incorporate physical activity into our daily schedules is fitness expert and author Michelle Stanton. Thanks for joining us, Michelle.
Thanks for having me.
So you've talked to me before about something called sitting disease. What is it and what are the impacts of it?
Sitting disease is that we're sitting too much, and what we're finding out is too much sitting is the new smoking. In one study, being inactive for women over 30 is a bigger risk factor for heart disease than smoking, than being overweight, or having high blood pressure. So with all the time-saving devices, the drive-thrus, TV, remote control, remember we used to have to get up and change the channel? Now we don't. We're sitting on average about 13 hours a day. And even if you get that exercise session, that 30 or 60 minutes in a day, it's not enough to counteract the dangers of too much sitting. So if you have a sedentary desk job, you're in school, you're sitting, you have to make some time and get moving throughout the day. What happens is too much sitting basically puts our body to sleep.
That's interesting. What are some of the tips that people can do to help combat that?
Well, what you want to do is, first of all, being conscious of it. So in one study, they found that sitting for 3 hours, and this was in people who were in their 20s, had changes in their arteries that increased their risk for heart disease. But what they found was that getting up every 5 minutes prevented that. So set a timer if you have a desk job, and every hour just get up. If you can go to the bathroom on the floor upstairs so that you're walking a little bit more. If you can't get away from your desk, we're going to show you some exercises that you can do, but having that cue to get up and move. The other thing is think about sedentary activities. If you are sitting and watching TV, get up when there's a commercial. Instead of fast forwarding, if you have it DVR'd, get up and move around during the commercial. If you have kids, this happens to me a lot. I take them to their activities and they're there for an hour or two, and parents sit, get up, go out, take a walk, or even if you can't get out and move, stand. You know, at least standing is better than sitting. Getting up and walking and moving is even better. So keeping that in mind, activity monitors are another great thing. I have the Fitbit. This tracks my steps, and so that way it's a cue, so you know that you want to be moving throughout the day. You want to be aiming for at least 7,500 steps, ideally get up to 10,000 steps a day.
And that way you can compete with your friends too.
Absolutely. It's a great device to compete and see who does more. And it vibrates when you hit your scores, your goal for the day. So it's like, yes, I did it.
So Michelle, can you show us some tips, or if you do have a relatively sedentary job where you're sitting for hours a day or sitting for hours at night, can you tell us what we can do to help it?
Well, we've got our chairs.
Okay.
So if you have a desk job, and again, this depends on the type of job that you have, but if you are able to where you work, when that timer goes off for 5 minutes, just stand and do some like squats down into the chair. Touch and then come up. Keep your chest nice and
That
lifted.
is low. I had to stop for a minute.
So all of a sudden you're working those big muscles in those legs. If you can't get up, you can stay seated and just do some leg extensions. Extending and back in. Extend. And do both legs. Do a couple of those. You can do heel lifts. So come up onto your toes and down. Some of the moves that you guys did in the bar 3 routine, you could even do at your desk. So some torso twists, twist to the side, and then to the other. It's just getting those muscles moving so the blood's circulating. Now, you can also do some other standing ones. And you can do some of these like in line if you're standing. So again, the heel lifts, come up onto your toes and down. You can challenge yourself and come up on 1 foot at a time. Ooh. And you get a balance challenge in there.
Do you really do this when you're waiting in line?
It depends. I'll do these while I'm brushing my teeth or something like that. Just to get a little extra movement in. And it depends on the line. When I was sitting in the audience, I was back there standing instead of sitting. You can also do things, just bring your leg behind, it's less obvious, and squeeze your glute. It's those little movements that can give you some big results and just get you active throughout the day. Or try balancing on 1 foot.
And these are really doable. I mean, you really could do these at work even during your lunch break.
Yes, and just throughout the day, anytime. Like I said, in one study they found that we have telomeres, and it's a sign of aging. And as we age, these telomeres on our DNA shorten. And in one study, when they had older adults who started to decrease their sitting time by 2 hours a day, over 6 months, instead of shortening, their telomeres lengthened. So basically, you're reversing the aging process by moving more.
So Michelle, let's go back to our original positions now, and I'd love for you to share with us some more tools that we can use to get active. And I know that you are a huge proponent of walking.
Absolutely.
And finding time to walk during your day as well.
Absolutely. Anytime that you can get out to walk. And one of the things we recommend 30 to 60 minutes a day of exercise. You don't have to do that all in one shot. So you can do 10 minutes in the morning, take a 10-minute walk, take a 10-minute walk at lunch or in the evening. In fact, one study showed that breaking up your walks like that and doing them after meals helped more in regulating our blood sugar, which helps us to decrease our risk for diabetes. So again, getting those little bouts, walking when your kids are doing activities. Like my son plays baseball. I never bring my chair to the baseball games anymore. So instead, I'm standing and I'll walk around the field. And I've gotten some great shots with my camera because of it. So it's finding those opportunities. For a lot of us, we live in areas where we can't necessarily walk. There's no sidewalks. So when my daughter went to a dance class, I couldn't walk her there, even though it was only maybe about 1.5 miles. There were no sidewalks. So I would drive her there, and then I'd leave my car there, and I would walk to the bank, I'd walk to get my nails done, I'd walk to the post office. So look for those opportunities throughout your day to fit it in. The other thing is to find something to motivate you, that you're going to do that. So having a buddy to check in with and support, the Fitbits are a great way to motivate you. I also have a lot of clients who walk half marathons, or they walk 5Ks or 10Ks. And we have a very walker-friendly half marathon here in the Lehigh Valley. It's the Delaware and Lehigh Heritage Half Marathon. It's on November 1st. It's 4.5 hours that you take to cover 13.1 miles. It's on a beautiful trail. And I'm hoping Laura's going to join me this year.
Can I train with my baby in a stroller?
You can absolutely train with the baby in the stroller. In fact, you're going to get an extra cardio workout from that.
All right, well, if I can train with my family, I'll do it.
Okay, and if you'd like more information on that, go to the Delaware and Lehigh Heritage website to find out more about the half marathon. And I hope a whole bunch of people will join us. It's for runners and for walkers.
Thank you so much, Michelle.
Well, thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week with a look at the latest developments in South Bethlehem.
Today, we leave you with a look at our friends from Rockall Middle School, Robb Middle School, and Dunnigan Elementary School.